I want you to hear about the investment that our church, the ATLAH World Missionary Church, has made to the education process. We have educated over the past 25 years that the ATLAH education system has been in place. We've educated over 1,200 students in the past 25 years. That's the number that have passed through our rosters, 1,200 through our church school education system, the ATLAH education system. And of that, we have graduated, when we consider the graduation from middle school to high school, from high school to college, over 750 students over the past 25 years. Is that we at one church, one group such as ourselves have graduated that many people here in the community of Harlem, talking about an investment. And you need to understand as well, while we do ask students and parents rather to give a tuition, most of them don't, most of them can't. But the reason why we require a tuition for the 1,200 that we've educated, the 750 that we've graduated, and it's a nominal tuition, is that we want to wipe out of the minds of people the whole idea of a welfare state, that somehow or another the church is supposed to just educate your children, or the state's supposed to educate your children, and you make no contributions to it. We ask for a small tuition, but in no wise does it cover the cost. Our contribution from the offering basket, from the tithes and the offerings that has been allocated and earmarked for the ATLAH education system over the past 25 years. Not tuition, but money that normally comes to the church because people tithe, they give offerings. We have taken, over the past 25 years, approximately $350,000 per year. Now, sometimes that's more, sometimes it's less. But there's been a total of over $10 million that this church has put into educating children over the past 25 years. Now, quite frankly, that's not a lot of money, but when you don't realize it, you think that somehow all this happens by osmosis, then it becomes a gargantuan amount of money, a large amount of money. $10 million that we did not, if we didn't have a school, if we weren't educating children in Harlem and in New York City, over the past 25 years, that $10 million could have gone to some other process within the ministry, or could have gone for some other purposes. But we have put $10 million, not tuition, but $10 million that have come from the tithes and the offerings of the members of the church into the education and into the food service program for the school. In addition to that, and tied up in that, is that our school has traveled with students, as many as 25 students, to China twice. We've traveled to London, England twice. We've traveled to Paris, France twice. We've traveled to Rome twice as a traveling classroom where we gather some students that qualify, put them on a plane, and take them to China for 2 weeks to study the culture in China, to become familiar with what's happening in China, to give them a global education experience paid for by the church. So China twice, London twice, Paris twice, Rome twice. We've gone to Ethiopia and South Korea once. We've gone to those two places once, and then we've traveled mostly all over America, or in many ways down to Washington on a large number of cases. So educated more than 1,200 students per period of 25 years, graduating more than 750 when we do high school and middle school graduation. And over $10 million that could have gone for some other purposes in the ministry if we did not have a school. I think that when we talk about you making a plan to own a mansion in Harlem, I want you to know that our church has made a major investment. Now, I have to tell you, 1,200 students over 25 years is not a lot. 750 graduates is not a lot. And 10 million, well, all things considered, when you look at the great need that Harlem has, that's not a lot. It probably could be 10 times that much. I mean, we could have invested $100 million just to educate children here in this community. But at least we've done that. And I think that everybody needs to know that what happens here happens because of the generosity of the offering basket and the members of the Outlaw Word Missionary Church to be able to educate. And by the way, let me say one other thing. We've never had a fight in our school. We don't use metal detectors on any student. There have been no drugs, no weapons. None of that has ever occurred in the 25 years that we've invested the $10 million and graduated to 750. None of those things have ever occurred. Now, we do have discipline. No, we are stricter than a tick. No, we do discipline. But we've taught children the Word of God. We've taught them to teach their parents the Word of God. And no, we are strict. No, we are as tight as you can get. Uniforms are required. A decorum is required, and we don't take tea for the fever. We don't go for none of that social stuff that they're going out there in the world and in the schools. No, we don't do that. But as a result of that, we've never had a fight. No drugs, no weapons, no metal detectors. Just a beautiful education experience that our church has donated over the past 25 years, $10 million to this community. I thought I'd say that to you. And you might want to say, well, let's move to that community and bring our children to such a school. All right, Mr. Engineer, bring up a couple of students who got a testimony about our school, and then we'll be back.
My mother started liking the school and let me come here every single year. It has been 5 years, and now I'm in the 7th grade. I still love this school. It has taught me a lot of things about the world and all around it, and let me see things I've never seen before, like me participating in the history fair last year. I would like to give thanks to all my classmates for making me feel comfortable and at home here. Please, to all the new and old parents in the school, don't take your kids out of the school because it will probably be the biggest mistake you've ever made. No matter what type of child you have, this school will shape it into a world's leader. So do yourselves a favor. Oh my goodness. Okay. So do yourselves a favor and keep your kids here till they graduate, and it will change yours and your child's life. Peace and blessings.
Peace be unto you.
Peace.
This school is under the Word of God.
That's right.
And I like this school because it can never be defeated.
Got that right. Are you right about that?
I will never leave this school because it is known as the best school in America. Peace.